Hello everyone and welcome back to some Wario Land Shake It. This is part 12, so let's go. Today we're going to be taking down the Derailed Express. Now, in this level, we get the wonderful reintroduction of everyone's favorite little concept called wind. You know, from Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. Yeah, wind. But in all seriousness, this makes this level incredibly tedious and impossible. Let's get into it. Now, the first section of a level, in fact, everything in a level is pretty much possible, but a little section in the Rescue Murphle section is impossible. Although the wind does make collecting coin bags really tedious, because you'll still get pushed even if you're shaking a coin bag. But it's not too big of a hindrance. Well, yeah it is, but it's still doable to collect every coin even while not up against a loading zone. So we're able to go ahead and collect all the coins in this room before moving on. Now in this room we're going to go ahead and see some more fire spewers from Wreck Train. In fact, this entire level is just sort of a redesign of Wreck Train. And we get some more coins. And then we'll have sort of a challenge room. We're going to have a timing event where we're going to have to hit switches in order to open up a passageway in order to let a abandoned Yarrow pass. I was a little too slow there, but we can retry. I had to retry again because I didn't set the room to the right thing. And then I go ahead and hit it in this order: blue, red, blue, yellow, red. And that sets it to right, and then we're able to take the abandoned Yarrow and throw it directly into the little passageway in order to get access to the treasure chest, which gives us access to train timetable. With this, we're able to go ahead and proceed back through the level. And as you just saw, I hit the 1 button right before I went down into the loading zone, and I started to fall through the loading zone. While when I climbed up with the ladder, I actually continued to be in my climbing state. Now, something I should bring up in importance is these loading zones. That's because they are what makes this level impossible, which I'll go into more detail later. But essentially has to do with coins that are, if you go ahead and collect them, you'll go into a different section of the loading zone in a different state, which forces you not to be able to collect the other ones, as you won't be able to access them again through a split path. But now we get to this section, where I'll go ahead and cut because I spent about 5 minutes trying to do this section where I was trying to bounce on top of abandoned Yarrow in order to get to that gold bag, when the answer was just to jump onto the yellow switch. And no one wants to see me fumble around for 5 minutes. I go ahead and take the gold abandoned Yarrow and try to go ahead and put him into the loading zone. Obviously, this is tedious as, well, we're being shoved back, but I was able to grab every coin, and now we're already up to 7,500 coins total. I go ahead and head back onto this yellow switch, or at least attempt to. This way I can go ahead and jump up here, and I'm trying to go ahead and get on top of the little yellow platform in order to make it to the boomed-in Yarrow. I go ahead and jump over its spike ball, and then I go ahead and just destroy it for good measure. And then we get a giant coin bag. And this makes running really slow. Hooray! I'm actually kind of surprised that we're able to run at all, but with the wind and all. But with that, we're able to go ahead and empty it out, and we're able to collect every coin. Although it is a pretty risky spot due to the fact that the loading zone is so far away and we have a wall. But with a little bit of luck, we are able to do it. And now we get to a room that ruins this perfect score of 12,500. Where first we go up to 13,750, a nice 750 number, and then we go up to a 050 number. And then we get to this little section where we're supposed to go ahead and ground pound on this iron blocks. We go ahead and break it. We just have to ground pound at the right height. And then we get the first diamond. The other two are really annoying and they'll be causing problems for us later. And then we get to this room where we're supposed to break boxes in the right order. It's nothing really difficult. We just have to make sure we don't break too many boxes. We're able to go ahead and collect some coins before moving up here and entering the green pipe. This leads us to another challenge, where this time we have to go ahead and throw a ball back and forth through the room in order to break a block after hitting a switch. Then we're able to go ahead and hit a treasure chest, which for some reason doesn't get open when we throw a ball at it, which is kind of surprising. Next I go ahead and fool around a little bit with the ball, see if I can throw it into the right section in order to throw it into the little hole. But then I end up going ahead and just double checking for coins, and then I go ahead and head out. And now I have to go ahead and break the rest of these boxes because they still have coins in them. And we have to be thorough in order to make sure we don't miss any of these coins because there's a lot of them. But because we already collected most on the left side, it's not too much of a hassle. And with that, we're able to move on to the next screen, where we have some fire spewers on the wall this time, as we have to climb a ladder. We have to be patient and make our way through. We go ahead and hit a switch in order to drop an iron block here. I go ahead and try to cheese it with maybe getting Wario to ground pound, which doesn't work. And now we get another treasure chest, where this time we're going to need a abandoned arrow to throw to break that breakable brick. Thankfully we have a boomed in arrow that we can shake, giving us our abandoned arrow, which we can then bring down here in order to use to grab the treasure chest. And that's all the treasures for this entire, well, level. An overachieving star. And now we get to another section with wind, although this one's pretty brief, as it's essentially just a transition room. I go ahead and check for coins, but there aren't any because why would there be? This is just a transition room. Then we can go ahead and head down here. Now let me show you the two paths that we can take in this ending route, both of which have coins. I'll point out which coins are only gatherable on each path. So the first path that we're going to take is the worst path. Now, it starts out pretty normally. We go ahead and break open a Murphle, and then we head to the right. And we have to shoot up at the right time, otherwise we'll run into a fire spewer. And then we have to get into a Dasherator, a max fastosity Dasherator, in order to make it to the left. Here we have some jumps, we collect some coins, and then we get to the absolute worst jump in this level. Now here, because we jumped, we collected those coins, which we must jump in order to collect. But because we did that, we are forced to lose our dash cannon, and we also are sent to the bottom section of the level, which is pretty bad for us, and we can't make our way back. Don't worry, there's blue blocks preventing us from doing so. Meaning, we are stuck to this path, and those coins that we got from jumping are the only coins we get. And then we get to the end of the level. That's it. Now the other option gives us the other 2 diamonds as well as some other coins. And this is the best possible way to do it. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, why don't you collect a diamond, then mess around with the loading zone? Well, I actually have been messing around with the loading zone, and I've been messing around with it for like an hour or so. The problem with it is the loading zone's actually is a little bit to the left of where the loading zone should be. So you're spawning in midair, and even when you turn around at the right time, it still doesn't work. Here you have to jump in order to make it. You collect the diamond, but you miss those coins. You can collect these coins, collect the diamond before running into the goal. But because you didn't collect those coins from the jump at the beginning, it technically is another impossible level. But sadly, 52,340 coins is the maximum amount of coins at this time for the Derailed Express. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.